Good morning, past traders. It's Stuart here from the forum. Sunday, the 14th of September, and it looks like we might have a busy week ahead. Checked the charts on Friday night, and several weekly setups that took my interest. So this is my past profile, weekly chart profile. Any of them that are still white, I have consider there to be an opportunity there, and then copy those charts into a different profile, and then put in a lower time frame chart as well. So you can see there 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 pairs, or 15 markets at first glance that could have an opportunity or have some sort of signal on the anchor chart that I'm interested in. So I'll move on to the profile that I've created for these pairs. So when after I moved them over, I went down into a bit more detail into each of the pairs, and I took a few out that I wasn't interested in. So for example, the pound dollar, there's a nice weekly pin bar, but I'm avoiding all pound crosses this week because of the Scottish referendum. Um, no idea which way it's going to go, and there's probably going to be a huge amount of volatility over any of the pound crosses. So I'm just going to be sitting on the sidelines for the time being on any pound crosses. So now we've got Euro dollar 1, dollar Swiss 2, the Aussie Kiwi 3, Euro Aussie 4, Euro CAD 5, CAD Yen 6, Aussie Swiss 7, CAD Swiss 8, and oil 9. Those are the ones that I have liked a little bit more when I've gone down to do my analysis. So I just wanted to run through a bit of analysis for each of these pairs, and then hopefully that will help a few of you, and myself included, and then you can decide which, if any, of the setups you would be interested in trading in the coming weeks. So start with the Euro dollar. It's the weekly chart here. Quick glance at the monthly. Okay, you can see this dotted brown line running along here shows some nice support in here, 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 over here. It's a strong level, and we're reacting to it on the monthly. If we look at the weekly, this was the upward trend line that has broken, and it's been an aggressive downtrend. So this blue shaded area here is really where I feel that the last leg of this move here began. And there's obviously buyers in here, because to stop this is like a freight train on the way down. There has to be big buyers in here to even create that pin candle. So Euro dollar is interesting. If we look at the daily chart, a couple of descending trend lines that we could look at, down to 4 hour. Zone at the bottom is where we started basically the end of the downtrend started in this blue zone here. So I think there's buyers here. Descending trend line coming down here, so a break of this could be a good trade. So I would want nice break, possibly a retest, and away. So that's the euro dollar. Dollar Swiss, which is, as most of you will probably know, has got a high negative correlation to the euro dollar. So basically, if the euro dollar goes up, the dollar Swiss tends to go down. So I'd be reluctant to trade both the euro dollar and dollar Swiss setup simultaneously, because you're really just doubling your risk for what is essentially a very similar setup. So here we go on the dollar Swiss analysis. Got a descending trend line here. It's not perfect, but it's there. Weekly resistance, which is proven, this area here several times. And the action there, just above it there, so it seems to be a strong level. The zone that I've marked in blue here is where this last down move began. A nicely formed pin candle here, past chart indicator, has also highlighted it. So of the two, between euro dollar and dollar Swiss, I think I like the dollar Swiss setup better. Down to daily chart, big daily ascending trend line here in green. It's too far away at the moment though. 4-hour chart, we have this blue ascending trend line here, but there's also this one up here. So if we could get a retrace up to there and then reverse, it might be a good entry, or alternatively a break through this trend line here. This zone up here again is where sellers stepped in. So if the trend line, if we don't get a retest in the trend line, a retest up in this area here could be good for a short. And as I say, I prefer that setup to the euro dollar setup. But we're going to keep them both on the radar for the coming weeks, because you never know which one might play out, if any. Aussie Kiwi, weekly chart, we've got clear resistance in this level here, price based around here for quite a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 weeks before it finally broke through. So it's a strong level, and we've got a big strong bearish candle reaction, again picked up by the chart past chart indicator. What puts me off about this setup is the weakness, or the potential weakness, of both the Aussie and the Kiwi. If you look at them against the dollar, they've both just completely been annihilated in the last few weeks. So 2 weak currencies together, we could just see consolidation going along here before either a move up or a move down. That's what puts me off about the Aussie Kiwi. However, going down to the 4-hour chart, and that was a daily trend line, the green one, and 4-hour trend line, the blue one. We had a bit of a spike in here, but it quickly retraced back, and these levels have held quite well. So if you were wanting to trade this, a break of that there, maybe even a retrace up to the daily line or this zone in here. Euro Aussie. Again, weekly support here. It's just reactions to this level so many times in the recent past, and also the higher level. Okay, now you can see that we closed above both these zones of support. There's also this ascending weekly trend line, which is a perfect reversal from a trend line in there. Past chart indicator hasn't highlighted this as a strong reversal. I'm not entirely sure why, but it hasn't nonetheless. I still think it's an interesting setup. A bit more difficult to trade on the lower time frames though, because this move that we've seen over the last week has been fairly aggressive. So I would say that there's, I've marked 3 daily trend lines that are possibilities. I would expect, not necessarily going to happen, that we're going to get a reaction of some kind off of these trend line levels back down, either into this area or all the way back down to here before any move up. Okay, that's EuroCAD. Again, a lovely support zone here between the two dashed pink lines, big bullish candle off of this area here, which is where the last up leg came from, so there are probably buyers still lurking in this zone here. If we look to our lower time frame charts, similar scenario to the Euro Aussie, there's a lot of possible descending trend lines to draw on the daily chart, so we could well see some form of reaction at them and a drop down before it breaks. If it breaks, something to keep in mind. If we look at the 4-hour chart, this was a nice trend line break that could have been taken last week. However, we didn't have the weekly signal. So I've marked 2 zones here as well that we could see a reaction from. Price comes back down to them, and the hope would be there that we get a new trend line formed on the way down, and then we can take the break in that. I think these daily ones are too far away. The move would be well underway by then. Okay, CAD Yen. Here's my longer term chart. Okay, CAD Yen. I quite like this one. You can see here we've got kind of a triangle on the weekly chart. We're at resistance. Nice pin bar formation, so price could drop down to this lower line here. You never know. What I like about this setup is this on the daily. It's been strong. We've got a nice kind of piercing or dark cloud cover style type setup on the daily chart itself. So this could drop quite quickly. If we look at the 4-hour, trend line there that is broken, I'd be tempted even just to enter this at Sunday open. 44 pip stop, 45 pip stop up there. The alternative would be that it goes all the way to the extreme before it reverses, in which case we might have a lower time frame trend line that we can trade the break of. That's what I'm looking at there. Aussie Swiss, big reaction to this zone in here on the weekly chart. Probably these Aussie ones as the move's been huge already. So I mean that from top to bottom is 300 pips. So I'd really, in the Aussie, any of the Aussie setups, I'm looking for a retracement first before I enter. CAD Swiss, similar to the Aussie Swiss. There's the weekly chart with resistance up here. On the lower time frame charts, we've got these 4-hour trend lines in blue, so, and a green daily trend line here. Break of this here, possibly see that continue down there, bounce off the daily, back up there and break. Ideal situation. And finally, US oil. So here's the weekly chart. I like this. This is probably my favourite setup of the week. So US oil, we have an ascending trend line on the weekly, 2 ascending trend lines, both which cross at this level for this pin bar confirmed. We've got clear support in this level here. And then on the 4-hour charts, we have 4-hour trend line that has already broken. This could be a reaction to this now. It may go down to the extreme first before we break back up. We have the daily descending trend line as well, which could be broken. And then this H4 descending trend line coming down here. So I think for me the weekly chart of the US oil is my favourite setup. It's not the best pin bar, but just look at that level. Bang, 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 bang. It's been really important in the past. 91, 46, so 92 basically is clearly a significant level for oil. The one thing I would say is I've never traded US oil before, so I don't have any experience of how it behaves, so we'll need to learn. So my favourites this week are US oil, EuroCAD, and Aussie Swiss. Okay guys, I hope that was helpful, and speak to you all in the forum soon. Bye.